Hey, hello there. Hi, Nakia. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you now. Oh,
Oh,
look,
good.
light catches us behind you.
Oh, yeah,
Your
yeah,
first movies
yeah.
with the incomparable Kerry Washington.
Yeah, yeah, had a great time.
I bet.
Hector, Wendell Pierce, Anthony Mackie. Yeah, it was great.
I remember when it premiered in Philly. Like it was so exciting. It was everything that everybody was talking about that year. Really was.
Tine
Oh
was
man.
amazing.
So it's so great to be here with you virtually.
Yeah, same here.
It's been a while. I guess, wait, let me just jump in and make it official. So let me introduce you to our audience, our Tinsel and Tine audience. I'm getting a chance to finally interview actor, writer, director, entrepreneur, Nakia Dillard. Yay!
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, I'm in the house. I'm in the house.
He is a Philly native who I met
Yes.
so many years ago that I'm not even going to say how many or it will age. But of course, you were part of an outreach program called the Rainbow Company, which
Yes.
performed original musical productions in the Philly schools. And it
Yes.
was run by American Music Theater Festival and directed by the late, great Ricardo Martin. It's so
Ricardo Martin. Yes.
hard to
Yes.
believe how long he's been gone.
Oh man, I'm telling you, that man changed my life, like truly. Um, just the conversations that we had, and the fact that he uh he was my acting teacher at Freedom Theater, and he actually he pulled me into the theater troupe because um it was crazy because my mother couldn't, we couldn't really keep going with the acting classes because it was like really expensive.
Oh yeah,
And
freedom pretty expensive.
he stayed in touch with me, and he was like, man, you're so talented, and I want to have you in our group. I didn't know anything. It was a whole different world for me, because it wasn't in my energy. Like I was the kid that was quiet. I was a quiet kid, you know. So even now, like when I remember telling one of my friends, like, I think I want to act. They were like, man, you can't even talk. How you gonna act? It's like we sit there talking, you standing there. And when I got in that group, I'm telling you, it was the most talented kids I ever saw, ever met. Kamal Bostic Smith was in there, Brandon Mayo, so many Melissa Sabater. It was just like crazy. And each year we had to keep auditioning. So every year we had to stay sharp, like because we could have got kicked out
Because
the group.
somebody else could take you
Yeah,
right out
somebody
of
else kicked
there.
out our spot. So we had to stay sharp. So I really respect that with him.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
I of course was the assistant to everything behind the scenes with the project, working to support the cast and crew and production. And I always wish that I could hang out with you guys more because
Oh wow,
it
yeah.
was it was always so much fun when I actually did get to go to the schools or we were having an event somewhere for
Mhm.
AMTF. And I remember you and Kamal the most and being the most talented. And
Oh, thank you.
it was
Well,
it was
know
a
that
good time, wasn't it?
it was like it really shaped my life, like truly. Um, Being around, even with the kids writing the shows, that was awesome to me. To just their imagination and the things that they spoke of in the show, and then the fact that we were able to portray what they what they wanted, and they were even directing us too.
I know,
So
and I wonder how many got inspired to go on.
right,
You
like
know?
um, it's a kid named Spike Jordan that was in the Rainbow Company, and he's directing Meek Mills and
Oh my
uh,
God.
all these 21 Savage. He's directing all these plays, but he
For
was
real?
writing the Rainbow Company. Yeah, yeah,
Wow, Ricardo would be so proud. Oh my
yeah.
God. That's so cool.
Who else
Well,
is doing some stuff? J. Alex Brinson.
I know
He's
that
on
name.
the show All Rise.
Oh, really?
He was
And
from
he
the Rainbow
was
Company.
that
Vladimir.
was he like a kid that was writing, or was he one of the ones that actually part of the product, the
He was in the cast. Vladimir Versailles. He's on. He has a couple commercials running right now. He's out in L.A. Miriam Hyman had a chance to work with. I don't know if you remember Miriam. She was in the Rainbow Company too,
that name does
and
sound
she's on The Shy right now.
familiar. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like I said, it was a lot of people that was in the
Oh
Rainbow
really?
Company that just was like just doing their thing right now.
Who would have believed it? I wonder. I don't keep in touch with Marjorie Samoff, who of course, was the founder and producer of American Music Theater Festival. But I wonder if she knows this many kids went on to do stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to Marjorie in a long time, but yeah, yeah, that would be great news to let her know that we all went off and we're all still working like in our craft.
And they just
So
kept it
it's
going.
just
It's like that Mickey Mouse Club that like
right,
Justin
exactly.
Timberlake
It's
and
just like
Britney Spears and all those people were in. You guys had your own. It's
right.
funny. Well, I mean, I tend to see you in like a lot of shorts and like film shot in Philly at film festivals, and
Yeah,
I did see in Split, but I feel bad because I've never watched The Wire. I know you were in season 3,
yes,
Detective Lambert. I'm sure a lot of people know you from that. And then you had a whole story arc in the CWDC comic show Black Lightning, another show
yes.
I haven't watched yet, even though that's in my wheelhouse. Like I love comic book movies and
Oh
shows, and
man, me
I just
too.
haven't gotten to that one yet. And then House of Cards has been on Netflix since the beginning of time, basically.
Right.
And yet I have never started that show. So I feel bad. I feel like I should have seen you
It's
working
all
more
good. I
often.
mean, it's there. You got
But it's
time.
all there,
We ain't
right?
doing
I
that.
can catch up.
Right,
but
we got a lot of time right now.
But you
Thanks
do
to
have a really cool Instagram though, because you put up stuff when you're on set, and and I always just follow your Instagram constantly. So everybody follow at Nakia Dillard on Instagram, because once we're back out of quarantine, he'll be back on the road. But kind of
yeah,
speaking
thank you.
about everybody that's gone forward from the Rainbow Company and things like that. I mean, is that what gave you the confidence to think you could be a working actor? Because as far as I've known you, you've never really had a 9 to 5 job, right?
Well, yeah, I have.
You have
I've
had a
had,
couple 9 to 5s.
yeah, I had a few 9 to 5s. I didn't like them, but
No.
but, but I was on them. I did everything. I'm telling you, I did everything I could to just keep my dream alive. You know what I mean? Like, so I did a lot of temp jobs. Um, I yeah, I I used to do well, I still kind of do it, but I don't do it. I created a business around it, but I used to dress up in costumes and dance and do all types of stuff. Matter of fact, I was I used to work with the Phillies, and it was this group called the Soul Patrol, and we would do stuff like performing different things, and then I used to I was a mascot for Health Partners.
Oh, the
I
insurance
did all
company?
types. Uh,
The insurance company?
yeah, the health insurance company. Yeah, I was the green kangaroo out there. I was breaking them kids down. No, they couldn't. They
No,
couldn't. I was serving them.
that's great.
I did all types of stuff. I did all types of stuff. Yep.
Really? That's funny. But you never stop believing.
Never, never. Like, yeah, the Rainbow Company. It did actually. It kept me inspired because matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you, like, through working with Ricardo and working with the Rainbow Company, I did a show. Matter of fact, when we did the show Bobos, um,
Bubbles. Ed
it was
Shockley.
Ed Shockley. Like, I met so many people through just Ricardo, like met Brian Anthony Wilson that was on The Wire, Joylette Harris, they were all in that show, the Bobos. And then I met Elvis Nolasco, who plays he's on Godfather of Harlem. He was in he's an All-American right now.
Okay.
So like when I met Elvis, he actually was the one who told me like how my headshot should look. You know, he was like, let me see your headshot. So I showed it to him, and I look older than I do now when I had the headshot. He was like, nah, man. He's like, yo, you gotta shave. I had a full, like just like I got now. I had a full. I was 16, 17. He's like, nah, man. You got again through me working with Ricardo and me working with the Rainbow Company. It just introduced me to so many like working actors, and everybody that I met was all helpful. Like they all was like, you know, telling me things that I needed to do, introducing me to like what was it, the Ross Report back in the day. It was kind of like you would go and you could see all the agents, you could see like different things. So you know, just doing that, and then just for them giving me little tidbits, it just sparked me to keep looking. Then I got an agent. You know, I was doing a lot of plays, a lot of you know, independent films. And it just through the journey, you know, I just met so many just talented people, you know, that just kept me inspired. But yeah, the Rainbow Company was definitely the springboard for me to really believe in myself and say, I can do this.
That's important. But what's also important is your spirit and, you know, just being a very likable, outgoing kind of, you know, very pleasant type person. I think people want to help you when you meet somebody. Like eyes kind of shine and you can see that they're interested in life. They care about their own well-being, and like that's always come out even when you were a kid.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's all about give and take. Like you can't be a one-sided person where you're just always taking from people. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, I try to tell like my students that you know, you gotta. It's just not all about you. It really is not. You know.
Yeah, no, that's a good segue because I wanted to talk about your acting school, the ICAN Acting Academy. It's pretty exciting that you have your own business there, and
it's really been a blessing. Truly,
it's actually you don't just teach kids though; it's actually for adults as well, right?
Right. I have I'm telling you, I've been really blessed. I have a nice, an amazing staff that works with me. I was able to hire some of my teachers that taught me, and they work with my company.
Talk about giving back.
Yeah, so it's just a blessing to see that, and you know, just to help. You know, like I said, I try to I try to help as many people as I can. You know, that's one of the reasons why I started the school, because it was a time when there were no schools for especially like entertainment classes, acting classes for us, you know. But we, you know, we service everybody. But at the time I was getting a lot of calls for kids, but it was like nowhere that I could pull from that I could put a stamp on. You see what I'm saying? So like once I started my school, a lot of my friends that were shooting things, and they would always call me and say, "Hey, Nakia, we got this film and we need some kids." I'd be like, "Oh, okay, I got some kids." So I, you know, let them so they could get their feet wet.
Yeah.
And you know, I was just trying to do things that I wish would have happened for me when I was coming up. You know,
which is important to give back. And then I've heard that you still act as like an agent for these kids, right?
Yeah,
you had one that is in an M. Night Shyamalan Apple TV show.
Yes, Courtney. Yes, little Courtney.
Now wait, is that
her first job, first audition? Huh?
Is she in Servant?
Yeah, she's in Servant.
Ah,
Yep.
I'm
Working
excited.
with every night. Yep. And we got a film coming up. Like, and I work with the students too. So we have a project where she's playing my daughter in a film.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what's that? So what's that like? Are you actually licensed to be an agent, or you just sort of get the call and say, yeah, I think I have a kid that should be able to, come out for that audition? Like, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. I do that. So a lot of times it's like I just refer them to a lot of these jobs. And because like, a lot of my friends are filmmakers and things like that. So they always call me.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. Getting these messages in. But yeah, so they'll call me for things and I'll help get them in the door.
And I'm sure that's also part of why the school's gotten to be successful, because then the kids, the students hear about that you can actually work from it. It's not
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
training, but that if you're good enough, you actually can get on camera, which is like
right, right,
so exciting. Um,
right.
I
So,
I know, like, probably like 2 years ago, you and I talked about me coming out and doing a story on the school, and then for one reason or another, we couldn't get it together. But
yeah.
I bought like a GoPro type camera that I bought for Sundance, because I knew I was going
Oh,
to want
nice.
to shoot a lot of video and start getting into that. So when all this self quarantining is over,
Yeah,
I
you gotta come
really
through.
do want to come through, meet some of your students, interview them and the teachers, because it's a great
Yeah.
story, and it's really great that this is going on. And unfortunately, I'm sure you're upset that you can't do it right now.
I mean, it's an adjustment. Like all of this is an adjustment. Um, I would love for the school to be open, and the fact that where we can all touch each other and all of that. But
If this goes too long, are you thinking about taking the school online?
we're online now. We have Zoom acting classes, so you guys can be right in the comfort of your own homes and learn the craft.
And Instagram too,
Yeah.
at AIKANACTS.
Yes. Yes. If you're interested, definitely give us a call. But it's been good. Like today, we just had one of my cast members from Black Lightning come on and talk. So one of the students, her name is Shalay, she kind of organized it. But we do a lot of different things that try to keep the kids inspired, keep the adults inspired. And we started age 7 through adult. So
Seven.
if it's a dream that you may have and you say, well, a lot of people say, oh, I'm too old, I'm too this. But if it's a dream that you have, there's no age limit on it, because they always need a grandfather, you always need a store owner or whatever. You know, it's about the character. So it's not really about whether you're young or but it's just about your drive and if you want it. Because you're gonna hear the word. Let me reiterate. Let me say it again. Like they're not gonna. You're gonna hear the word no, or you're gonna see the word no. You're gonna go out and audition, and you're like, dang, I tore that audition up. And next thing you know, you see the movie. You're like, oh dang, I didn't get the job. So you just be like, all right. So you just gotta keep on going.
Is there any one job that you can remember that you really wished you had gotten, and you were like, oh man, that was the one that I was pretty much feeling?
Let me see. Well, I mean, I auditioned for what is that? The movie that just was out. It was Slim,
Oh, Queen and Slim
Queen and
with
Slim. Yeah,
Daniel Kaluuya.
right. I
Yeah,
auditioned
yeah,
for.
yeah. You auditioned for a part in that?
Yeah, I auditioned for the father in that. Daniel's father.
Hard to say. It's hard to wonder what's on the page and then what the actor decides to bring to that character. So I was
Right.
just wondering, like, when you read the screenplay did you feel like, oh, I've really got to come up with a character that's kind of way off base, kind of a little bit off kilter?
Well, when I read the role, like sometimes like you might get a role and you be like, I don't know if I could play this cat's father, but but I'll go for it. You know, I'd rather go for it than not. You know, so I just went for it.
Oh, right. Wait, I'm sorry. You were up for the father. I was thinking about her uncle.
Oh
You
no,
were
no,
up
not the
for
uncle.
the Daniel Kaluuya's father's role.
Yeah,
Okay, he was more of a straight character. He was really more a straight character.
I had a chance to go to Louisiana, which was cool. And one thing about this craft, you know, it takes you all over. You know, it's not a place. It's not like where you just everything is here in Philly or you know everything. You know, you got to travel.
No, you've been all over, and Atlanta. That was where you
Atlanta,
shot Black Lightning, right? Did you get
right?
to go to Tyler Perry Studios?
Not yet. No, I haven't.
Man, I would love to take a tour through that. Wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I
yeah, I would love to
would.
too. But it's coming. I totally believe that you know I'll be on those sets soon.
Oh, I
You
believe
know.
it for you too. I definitely believe it. I mean, after all, you were Idris Elba's dialogue coach for Concrete
Yes. Yep.
Cowboys. Now, I
Yes. Yep.
mean, first of all, I mean, it's Idris Elba, and I wish you had snuck me on set. You definitely needed to have given me a call on that one. But even though you're a coach and you're from Philly and you're an actor, was that nerve wracking? Like, how do you prepare for something like that when they come to you and they're like, "You think you could give Idris Elba some tips on how to speak Philly?" And then you just start thinking, like, how do you know where to go? How do you know what to do?
Well, I mean, it was an amazing experience. Like Idris is such a cool, extremely cool dude, man. Like very very humble, uh, down to earth. He's not like walking around like I'm Idris Elba. None of that. You know, he was real cool, and you know, so it was really easy to work with him. When he came on set, he was cool. I just had to just had a conversation, and I just told him, you know, we was just talking about like what the different words were. So we just had to we just went through the script, and he was saying the words, and I would just correct him and just tell him like, okay, you got to pronounce it like this, or whatever, like that. And he picks up so fast, you know.
Yeah.
Like the first day we worked, um, it was a few words that you know he was telling me that it was kind of hard for him, and but when he got on set, and I had the headphones on, I actually had to walk to the set to see if it was him saying the words
Oh
because
my God.
it was like he just picked it up so fast.
So he
I
was
thought it was
spot
another actor.
on with like one coaching session.
Yeah, it was like you know we would go over like throughout the shoot throughout the shoot we would you know just go over the lines, but he would catch on like so fast, like he would say them a couple times, and you know, and he would just rock, you know, and it was good.
That's good.
It was good to see, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you feel like, hey, I can do this. Now I have this on my resume. I'm a dialect coach.
It
But
helped because I was from Philly too, so and it was you know we both had the same credits, so we both were on the wire, and I never that
good.
was my first time meeting him because you know when you do TV and you do different films, you don't always be on set. Like theater, you see everybody, you know, you kind of grow with everybody, but on TV and film, you only work when your character works. So on the wire, I only worked with the cops. So I didn't get a chance to work with
Oh, okay.
Amy Hector, and we got a chance to work together on Night Catches Us, which he's amazing too. You know, I just been really blessed. Like just the fact that like I've been around a lot of amazing actors from kids to adults,
Yeah.
um, and I'm just really just grateful.
What were some of the last projects?
Name some of the last projects.
Yeah, that you were working on, like, with some Philly people.
I just worked on a project that was shot here in Philly called The Probe, and it had a lot of it had a few guys from The Wire. Clifton Powell was in it. Trey Chaney from The Wire. Who else was in it? It was a bunch of beautiful cast, and we shot it all here in Philly.
The Probe, is
I
that
collaborated
sci-fi?
with it.
Is that sci-fi?
No,
The Probe.
it's a crime drama. So yeah, the trailer is up on YouTube. You can check it out. But I did with a few of my partners, Teeth Lanier, Keith Ballard, Mike Pender. We did a project called Swing, and you can watch that on YouTube as well. But that was something that we all kind of, like, Atif wrote it, but we all produced it. So we all just put our money together and
got
the team together, and I helped with casting, so I got a lot. So a few of my students are in it. I did a project with Terrence Takim. It was called Jason's Letter, and that had Vivica Fox in it. Like a bunch of actors, and the lead actor was one of my students, Jamal. Yeah, so he had a chance to work with Vivica Fox. Everybody.
Yeah.
It was great. So my whole thing is, like, with my school, I try to, as they're learning, if I'm on a set, I try to bring them on the set so they can actually get a chance to see how it works, because it's not for everybody.
So invaluable.
Sometimes you may have a different idea when you're in class versus when you're on a set. Some people might say, you know what, I can't be on a set for 12 hours. I just can't, and that's what it is, or they might say, oh man, I can't wait to, I could use this in the class, and I could do, so I mix them. I mixed it together. So
yes, and
I
they're
bring
getting
different
real
actors
world
through.
experience.
I had different actors come and speak to the students. I had rappers come by, comedians come by. So I had people, filmmakers, directors, just so they can kind of, like, ask questions, So, like, when I was, like I said, when I was younger, I'm just trying to do things that I wish would have happened for me, that I could have learned, even with the Screen Actors Guild. Like, I bring my students to the Screen Actors Guild so they can ask questions about that, because for a long time, when I was coming up in film, a lot of my actor friends were telling me, don't join SAG, don't do it, you ain't gonna work no more. It was like this invisible bully kind of thing. Like, don't do
but
it.
because they feel like you can't take on smaller projects when you're a SAG actor, and then you're not allowed to do anything that's not SAG. Is that why they don't?
Well, yeah, you can't do anything that's not SAG.
Right.
But it was just a thing where, see, a lot of times people tell you their fears, like things that didn't work for them. They try to put that on you because they want to protect you. But I'm gonna tell you, like, when I joined SAG, The Wire was my first SAG job, and I literally been working as a SAG actor ever since.
There's nothing like actually being out there where things are going on and being able to see how it works. So that's fabulous that's all part of the Aikan Academy. I love that. And so what do you think, though, in terms of, like, the Philly film and TV scene in general? What's changed the most since you got started? Good or bad?
I would say what changed was, the fact that they, when they capped the tax credit, and a lot of films end up leaving Philly. It's crazy because one of the years, I forget what year it was, but it was a film that came through with what's the guy that played Spider-Man's friend? James DeFranco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had booked a film with him. I was supposed to be in a scene with him. but because the tax credit was capped, they end up taking the film to Canada,
Oh,
and they just recast out there. So
oh
yeah,
man.
so so it was just kind of a thing. Like if we were where a lot of these other states are, it would be a lot more work for a lot of Philly actors.
And I know Sharon Pinkinson and Joan Bresler at the Greater Philadelphia Film Office are just constantly fighting for.
Yes, they're amazing.
They, that's
They
their
even
passion, probably.
Ignite is like, we need more work here, so um and also too, like once things kind of changed with the tax credit, it was, we had more casting directors too. It was a lot more people that was like, we had Philly casting, we had
Yeah.
it was a few of them.
Is Mike
But
Lemon still around? I remember him from back in the day.
yeah, Mike Lim, yeah,
Yeah.
they're still around, yeah.
Okay.
But it's just not as much work as it used to be. And so it just forces actors that, we gotta go to New York, we gotta go to Atlanta, we gotta go, all these other places. So
Looking to shoot in LA, or you like,
oh yeah,
find projects that
I'm literally like, where to work at, I'm there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I got a car, I will travel, I'll jump on the plane, it don't matter.
It's all happening, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
and truly, I've truly been blessed to work as much as I have, And I'm gonna tell you a quick story. Because Kamal was a part of the Rainbow Company, and I had pulled him into a film that we were working on. It was called Cost of a Soul.
Okay.
And did you get a chance to see that?
I don't think I've seen that. No.
All right, well, you gotta check it out. Kamal's in it. So so what happened was, when I got the job, we had a meeting, and we were all sitting around the table, and I asked, was he finished casting? And he was like, "Nah, I still got a couple more roles." So he told me to roll. I was like, "Oh man, I got a guy for that." So I sent him Kamal's picture. But at the time, Kamal had this, like, he looked like a Backstreet Boy or something in his picture. So he was supposed to play like a thug,
And he looked like
and the director was like, "Nah, I don't think this guy can play the role." I was like, "I'm telling you, he can play the role."
That's why you have to have
They were
several
doing
different kinds of headshots. Exactly.
yeah, man. Headshots gotta look like something. So what happened was, they were doing some scouting, location scouting, and they actually walked on his block and walked up to his house.
Uh,
And they were, they introduced themselves. They were like, "Hey, we're with," I forget the name of it. The titles changed a few times. So whatever the name of the show was, he was like, "Hey, we're part of this film." And Kamal was like, "Yeah, audition for that." He was like, I sent my picture in." And he was like, "Wait a minute, you sent your picture in?"
uh,
And then later on, they brought him in for an audition, and he ended up booking the role.
and he killed it. But what a
I was like, "I
coincidence.
told you."
What is the odds that they would come to his house? That's just like the universe saying, you know what, you are supposed to be doing this. We're going to deliver it to your front door.
Right to his front door, right in his neighborhood, right on the block. It was crazy.
That
It was
is really
crazy.
crazy. And you were like trying to get him in, and they're like, hey,
I'm like, every day, I'm like, "Look, he was in The Wire. He was this and that." I'm like hyping him up, and they like, "No, no." But that's why I say, like, you just never know, like, how, if it's meant for you to do it, it's going to happen.
good lesson to learn that, if it's for you, eventually it'll come around to being yours.
Right.
Well, on my site, Tinsel and Tine, a couple years ago, I started this 5-question series for filmmakers because they, things would screen at Black Star Film Festival or the Philadelphia Independent Film Festival, First Glance, and I would want to include as many people as possible, but you can't just interview all the filmmakers. So what I had done was send them the 5 questions, and then they could write them back into me. And it's really kind of cool because then I would put them in the same post, and it's interesting to see how each filmmaker's answers differ to the same question. So it
Oh,
became like a
nice.
signature. But then last year during the First Glance Film Festival, this actress, Brooke Lewis, her agent contacted me and asked me if I wanted to interview her because she was going to be in a film that was screening. And so then I thought, well, let me do a new set of questions for actors. So I've kind of put that out there to a couple of local actors and have put theirs up. So I figured I would induct you into the 5 questions for Tinsel and Tine.
Okay. Thank you. I
So
appreciate that.
I think it's fun. I have to do more of them because I really would like to, keep the series going. But the first one I normally say is what led you to this latest project and briefly describe your character. But seeing as we are in self-quarantine, I think it's better to say, what were you in the middle of shooting or preparing to shoot when COVID-19 broke out?
Oh, wow. Well, when it broke out, I was in Atlanta and I was shooting a film called Peace in the Valley. It's an indie film, so it was cool. So I was blessed that I was able to shoot all of my scenes before they had to shut the
Oh,
set
you
down.
did finish? Yeah. I mean, your
Well,
part,
no,
but
like
they
my
did.
scenes are done, but they had to shut the scene down. They had to shut the shoot down because you know it was getting crazy out there. And then I got a call that I booked a role on a new show called Ghost on Power.
Oh,
So I was supposed to shoot that, and the
oh,
world shut down. So
oh no, that would have been huge.
yeah, so it's
Uh,
it's still there. I'm just
they're going to do it.
soon this thing is over, I could just jump right back in the mix. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we have that to look forward to. So question number 2 is, do you have any superstitions or rituals that you do before an audition?
Let's see, a ritual. Uh, Not so much before. I I just learned. I just dig into the auditions. But afterwards, I don't dwell on it. I forget about the auditions. Like I'll throw the sides away so that I'm
Do
not
you?
always thinking about or looking at the phone. You know, because a lot of times, when you have these auditions, you feel in your spirit like, oh man, like I put it down. You know, but then the phone don't ring. Just focus on putting it down, and I just leave it. I just leave it on the floor. I just leave it in God's hands.
All right, question number 3. If you had the choice to be cast in the remake of any popular movie, what would it be? And would you want to change anything about the character? And it could be anything. It doesn't have to be a black man. It could be, just the movie that you
That's a
love.
good
You love
question.
that role if you could play it.
Wow. Um, wow. That's a. I don't know. It's
I know there's
I
so
was
many
like so
things
many
to say.
films was popping in my mind. Like I was thinking of uh like James Bond. I was thinking about like
Ooh. Wait, would you want to be a villain or actually James Bond?
I wouldn't mind being James Bond. I wouldn't mind being
Okay.
like a yeah, like yeah. I wouldn't mind like doing that type of genre.
The questions
All
for
right.
so uh Tinsel and Tine's always been somewhat foodie as well, although it's always been a mainstay of the film industry. But do you have any foodie related moments that stand out in your mind regarding a role, like while you were, that had to do with the role, like maybe you're doing a bit of business with it or preparing for the role? Like, do you have something that you really like to eat, or like after you wrap production, any of that kind of thing that like would relate to food or
Oh,
something?
something dealing with food.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to eat. I love that. So, after my auditions, I take myself out.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
See,
I
that's what
do.
I would do too. I could picture myself doing that. Do you go to?
You said what?
I said I could picture myself if I was an actor. I would reward myself with getting something good to eat after an audition.
Yeah, I
Do you
definitely do
go to
that.
one
Like,
place in particular?
no, not really. Just depend on what I'm feeling for that particular day. You know, I mean, I like pancakes. You know, I go to IHOP. You know,
Oh, IHOP
but it
has
just
the
depends on how I'm
best
feeling.
pancakes ever. Don't I mean I get so disappointed when other people's pancakes don't taste like IHOP. I got to the point I can't order pancakes at a diner or another restaurant because I want it to taste like IHOP pancakes so bad.
Yeah.
And number 5 is give a shout out to those on your team who have been in your corner while you hit both highs and lows in your profession.
Oh man, the main person that I would say is my mother. My mother has been like truly my biggest fan, my biggest support system. You know, she even helps me with my business, like making sure everybody's, you know, doing what they're supposed to do when I'm out of town and doing different things. And,
Oh
you know,
wow, now that's helpful.
So
What's her name? Just so
Gloria Dillard.
Gloria Dillard. Okay.
Yeah, she's on Instagram and all that stuff. She on it more than I am.
Is she? All right.
Oh yeah, she on there. She probably on it right now.
Go ahead, Gloria. All right. Anybody else?
Team, you know, like Miss Lenny. Who else? You know Miss Lenny? Do you remember her?
I don't
Okay.
remember.
Well, she was one of my teachers at Freedom Theater.
Okay.
And she teaches on my staff now.
Well, she's got to be seasoned if she started at Freedom.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah. She started the Philly Black Theater Festival. I don't know if you remember that when that was going on, but
yeah,
a few years ago, she started that.
Huh. Okay.
I'm sure you've met her.
Yeah,
in your travels. You have.
That. I must have.
Yeah, just my team. You know, my ICAN Acts team.
What about your agents, managers?
Oh yeah, they're good too. I mean, it's like different relationships. You know what I mean? I'm very grateful for all of them. Shout out to Peter Cole, Tanya Hensley, Allie Roberson. They all hold it down for me. You know, keep me on my toes, keep me moving.
That's what everybody needs. That's especially you had mentioned one of your agents did have the coronavirus, so send out.
Yeah, she's better. She's good. Yeah, she's good now, which is a blessing. I'm so happy that she's. Man, I was praying, you know, just making sure she was good, you know, because
that's scary.
No joke.
No.
It's taking a lot of people out of here, and you know, I have a few friends that actually has the coronavirus, and some of them are each one of them kind of deal with it differently, but yeah, it's just this whole chemical warfare that they released, you know, is crazy. You know, I'm honestly speechless on just like how this is affecting everything.
Yeah, I mean the ripple effects are just unending, and
yeah, the numbers keep rising.
It's
In fact, you can't see it.
Time we'll never
somebody
forget.
walking in the room with it, huh?
I mean, it's a time we'll never forget as a race of people.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Can always be
because it's affecting everybody. You know, I have some friends that lost their you know, parents through it. A friend of mine, she called me and said her dad passed away through the corona, and it's just like just so much. It's like I don't even know how, like I just, you know, I just don't even know like how to kind of get through.
It can be overwhelming when you give it.
Yeah, it is. It's very overwhelming. It's like you don't even, you know, you go outside and you just don't know. Is it sitting on your car? Is it sitting on, you know, you gotta, you know, wash your hands and make sure everything's good. And but again, like you don't even know if you're sick. So you could be feeling fine You're around different people, and then next thing you know, you're carrying this disease. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's crazy.
No, you got to be so careful. That's why, we don't want to see things open up too soon. Of course, we have to
Exactly.
get back to our lives. I mean, for me, I don't get paid to do Tinsel and Tine, so it is what it is. I can take a break, but it is strange not to be going to, the theater. I became a Barrymore nominator this past year, so this was my first season doing that, and so it's been cut short.
Oh, wow.
That's nothing in compared to people losing their jobs and their life and their, but just in my small sphere of what I normally do with my everyday, I'm either at the theater or at the movies or at an event in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So all those things are done now. But hey, I get to sit here and talk to you on Zoom. So there's always that silver lining, right?
Right. And that's one positive thing about this. You can kind of connect to people that you may have never haven't connected or seen in a while.
Yeah.
Like when I saw your picture with Wendy, she's a filmmaker. She's from the Cayman Islands, and you guys were up at Sundance.
We met in
and you
line.
guys took that picture, and I was like, oh man. So it was just great to see you. I haven't seen you since Rainbow Days. You know what I mean? Like we ran into each other, a few times, but
yeah, but it's been a while. I think
it has.
I think it's been a good 5 years since I've ran into you.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Yeah, wow. Yeah. But it's always good to see you, though. It's always love. It's like we never stopped.
I feel the same way. I know. It's just one of those things when you meet somebody and you just feel like you know them and you want to be in their corner.
I appreciate that. I'm telling you, it's like, yeah.
But thank you so much for taking this time. I really enjoyed it, and
same here.
It's so many exciting things that you've done and will continue to do, and it's going to be great to be able to feature you on my site. So thank you.
Oh,
Nakia.
thank you. Thank you for that.